In behalf of animals, I'm Nicole Arcello, and welcome to our very special vegan Thanksgiving episode. I'm here with Patrick today. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi. So we're here today to be with you, to spend a little bit of time on this holiday with some like-minded people. If you're hearing this before you're off to visit family, or if maybe you need a little bit of support after the day. So you'll know that you're not alone, even though we all feel very alone on this holiday. I'm very I'm very lucky because my mom did a vegan Thanksgiving right away. So for
Right.
16, this will be my 16th vegan Thanksgiving. I acknowledge that I'm very lucky, and I know it's hard, and I still have hard things, and I want to talk about that too because I don't want it to sound like it's hard. I mean, when the calendar turns to November 1st, it's hard. It's heavy.
No.
And all I can think about, like, every minute of every day is like, I have to do something for the turkeys. I
Right.
can't let this year go by. I can't get busy and not do some posts. I have to do something. So I feel all that anxiety, and I'm sure we all feel that because we want to scream it from the rooftops. We want to tell our family. But when I went vegan 16 years ago, right,
Mhm.
2009, it was toward the end of spring or summer, and I called my mom and I said, "I'm not vegetarian anymore. Pretty sure I'm going vegan." And the first thing out of her mouth was, "What are we gonna do on Thanksgiving?" And mind you, I was already vegetarian for a couple of years, right? So we weren't having turkey. Mom and dad decided to do that a different day. Because back then, I was like being a militant vegan, right? When I first or vegetarian, I was doing this for animals. So I was telling them a lot. So they were probably like, we're going to do this a different day because we don't want her coming in the house. Right. And if I had siblings, I'm sure it wouldn't have gone down this way. This is only because I'm an only child, which is good and bad, but it's for another discussion. All of the sides were already vegetarian, so she just had to veganize them, take that extra step. And so that was, she saw that as pretty easy, the replacing the milk, the butter, the broth or whatever. But I know for a lot of other people it's not that easy. And I know for us with your family,
Yeah.
please talk about before, you and I were together, but also after too, we're together and we get invited to your families. So talk about maybe before, like when you went vegan almost 23 years ago, right?
Yeah. So it was very challenging. And no matter whether we hosted or went to one of my family members' homes, there was meat served with the tofurkey. Um, so that was my life. And, I think that your description of a heaviness that we feel around this time of year, especially on Thanksgiving Day, is so apt. It's the weight of the knowledge that we all have as to what turkey involves for the holidays. And
Yeah.
um, so the first holiday that I went to your parents, the first Thanksgiving, or I was invited to your parents, was the most wonderful experience for me. Not only it was all vegan, as you said, but you and your mom are both incredible cooks, and no one loves to eat more than I. And it was
That might be true.
instantly my favorite day of the year. And
Right.
and what did I say like almost every year? Why do we do this just once a year? This is
Right.
insane. We should be doing it
And I,
more than.
and I still only do it once.
Yeah, well, you've gotten a little bit better, but the point is, it was just a wonderful experience for me from the outset. And so we recently made a decision as a couple
Yeah.
that we were no longer going to go over to anyone's homes um, when meat is being served or where it had been served just recently. So
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, for example, we've been invited for dessert in the past, and but the remnants are still there, or the leftovers are already being uh, uh, eaten by other guests, and we decided we don't want to be around that any longer. And it's a difficult thing. I still am very very close to most of my family,
Yeah.
but I have a large family. I have 4 siblings, many, many nieces and
Yeah.
nephews, and my parents. And aside from my son and 1 niece, they all eat meat.
Right.
And, I just don't want to be around that anymore. It's
Yeah.
too much of a negative, for me,
Yeah.
and it was actually your idea,
Yeah.
and, of course, I
Well, I
endorsed it
think we
right
had to
away.
stop the struggle,
Right,
because, like, we both feel inside like, "Oh, someone's gonna invite us, and what are
right.
we gonna do?" And,
Mhm.
like, we always would say dessert, so but then it was all this anxiety of me being like, "Well, what time are you guys eating?"
Right.
"Oh, around 3 or 4," and I'm
Last thing
like,
we wanna do is walk in on
"Right,
them just carving a
right."
turkey.
And then we gotta sit there,
Right,
and then they're gonna say, "Did you guys eat?" or whatever, and we'll get to comments in a
right,
minute, but and not just your family's comments, but just comments in general,
yeah,
so I'm not beating up on your family. But,
and I
um
do wanna point out though, that, that was just a decision that we made. We feel
yeah,
like we can make that work with my family dynamic, um, but if you still are going to your family's houses on Thanksgiving and they are serving turkey, we totally understand.
yeah,
It's not, one size fits all,
right,
but just know that we understand the internal conflict,
right.
and that's what this is about.
Well,
This
yeah,
episode, right? This is a kindred spirits. We get through it.
so it wasn't a lot of anxiety, like, we're gonna get invited somewhere. Do we have to make an excuse? Do we have to figure out, like I said, and then we're to the point where, we're okay, yeah, we'll come for dessert. Well, what time are you eating? So we're not walking in, like you said, right? And now it's like, okay, so if we say we're gonna be there for dessert at 6, let's be a little bit late. So
Well,
I'm just
one year we deliberately held off as long as
yeah,
possible. When we got there, we left.
it was
So we
crazy.
had dessert with my father and my stepmother, and that was
Yeah,
fine.
everything was cleaned up by
But
then.
that was all about self-preservation,
Yeah,
right? We didn't want to
right,
subject ourselves
right,
to
right.
those feelings, and not only the turkey being there, but everyone reveling,
Yeah,
celebrating the day, and that's what makes it hard, right?
yeah,
It's not just the fact that a turkey is there, it's
yeah,
the celebratory feel
right.
of the holiday
Yeah, so I
and talking about
just
the
like
tenderness of the meat or whatever, and that's what I mean,
where their sandwiches are gonna have
right.
and but so that's why I was like, "You know what? We have to make a change here because this is too much anxiety,"
Mhm.
And, this worked for us, and you'll hear from some other activists because we have a recording from for some other activists and what they do, and it's really interesting and eye-opening and inspiring too. Um, but yeah, that's what we, decided to do. I don't know how we're gonna navigate other holidays and things like that,
But we'll take it as it
but we'll
comes,
take it as it
but join
comes.
it our own tradition,
Yeah.
to be among,
And
other kindred spirits during the holidays is so very, very important. So if you can't be with other ethical vegans on Thanksgiving Day, find some time, right, during the holiday season to get together, do a potluck, do
yeah,
something where you
do
can
some
all be together and make it a positive experiences. There's enough heaviness. We all know it's there. It's omnipresent. But try to find some
and then
pockets.
if you have to, so many of you are going to have to be around family members, and, I know that you were listening to my interview with Kathy Stevens.
Whether they have to go or they want to go, obviously, family ties are what they are, and people still are very, very close to family members who eat meat still,
Yeah, we love our
and
families.
we understand that. And but Kathy had great advice. You could opt out, like we've decided to do, um, or but you go with love in your heart, openness, prepare a great vegan dish to share
Yeah.
with the group, but no judgment, right?
Yeah.
And that's certainly not the time
Well,
for uh, for direct verbal activism. You can do
yeah,
your activism through your food,
right.
through your dish, but it's not the time to talk to people about,
Yeah.
unless someone were to ask you
Yeah.
as an aside, and you maybe have a side conversation, I should say, with someone about that. But you have to pick your moments, right? And that's
Yeah,
not the
but
time,
and she does point out that, family dynamics are different and things like that. So
right?
you may have opportunity,
Right.
finding a way, and that's part of why I wanted to do an episode today, is like finding a way to walk into that. So if you're, if you're listening to this before and you have all that anxiety, we all feel it too. And if 100 people or 10 people listen to this today, they all feel it too, right? All of us feel the same way when we
Right.
have to go anywhere. I mean, think of all the anxiety just of like, oh, we're going to get invited. I got to figure out what time they're having dinner. And it's a lot,
Right.
and families are already a lot of anxiety.
Right.
I have a very small family. So I don't have, I don't have siblings. I don't have people that I have to, worry about. Um, but also, so another thing, and I made a video about this last year, was all the people that say, like, text you, like, Happy Turkey Day,
Mm.
gobble, gobble. And I know I get upset about it.
Yeah.
And I think I feel like it's a personal shot sometimes. I'm like, what the hell? Like I like to use a stronger word, but I try to keep it clean. But what the hell? Why are they saying that? Are they saying that because, but you have a really interesting
Yeah,
take on that.
I don't think it's meant to be insulting or demeaning. I think it's more rooted in an uncomfortableness that they feel. They know who we are and what we do.
Yeah.
Um, we're not confrontational with any of my family members. We never have been.
No, you're
If
fantastic.
someone were to ask us a question, we are certainly going to answer.
Mhm.
There was one night in particular, we were out to dinner with my
Yeah, that's why I
father.
say you're fantastic, because
Yeah,
if I could have snuck a video camera while you were talking to your dad that night, it was so calm and so full of compassion. Um,
right. But that
I
was
can't even describe
again,
it.
that was unsolicited. That was, he brought up the topic. And
Yeah.
so, we find moments where, if the opportunity presents itself, we certainly will talk about it. Um getting back to those gobble gobble, happy turkey day, those kinds of comments, I don't take them in any way as a shot. And I don't think that they are mean people, that are saying them to us.
I don't
They're
think they're
they're
mean.
just uncomfortable, and also there's a certain amount of habituation, right? This is the way we all grew up. That's the way I grew up. Turkey Day, happy, and gobble gobble, and that's just the way you know the greetings are passed along on Thanksgiving. So I don't take anything. I don't take them in any way to be an
I know.
offense.
Maybe people like copy and paste them to everybody to get it done fast or something. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know. But it still like
No.
irks me a little bit because I'm like, come on,
Right.
Um, and I did an episode about this last year, about to remind people, like, we've been vegan a long time, like 16 years, 23 years. That's a long time to me. And our families think that, oh, oh, that's Pat, he's the vegan one, or Nicole's the vegan one, or Sally, or whoever you are out there is the vegan one. And sometimes they just forget, right? Because maybe we're eating pretty healthy food, or so
Mm.
their thoughts have changed to why we're
Yeah.
vegan.
Talk more about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, to people who I care about the most
Right.
in this world. Um, but if they don't ask me, I don't talk about it. And so, yeah, that makes it difficult. But, and as Kathy said in the interview, uh, the time to talk about it is either before the holidays, in between the holidays, or after the holidays. But you have to be willing. It's a risk,
Yeah.
right? And you have to be willing to have that possibility
Mm.
that relationship will be compromised in some way because you are bringing it up. But
Yeah.
again, that's something that each of us has to decide
Yeah.
on his or her own.
So something I think we did this summer, to remind our family members why we're vegan, is we put tattoos on our arms, right?
Yeah,
We got tattoos that say animal liberation
right.
on our forearms. They're matching, different fonts, different
And that's a
directions.
perfect example. So when I did share that with my sibling
Yeah.
and my parents, and there was like, oh, really? And then they would make some kind of a joke about, I never thought that, Pat would be the one to get a tattoo,
Yeah.
but nothing about the actual text
Right.
saying animal
I
liberation,
can get through.
because it makes them feel uncomfortable,
Right.
right? And let's
Yeah.
face it, ethical veganism is a judgment, right?
Yeah.
We are saying this is the right way to live.
Right.
We can talk about that amongst ourselves. We firmly believe that it's the right way to live. And there's a subtext in every kind of, or every relationship that we have outside of the vegan community, right? People who know us, our family members, uh, they know that there's a certain amount of judgment, even though we're not presenting judgment in our interactions with them.
Right.
The subtext is always
Yeah.
there, and that's why they feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
when we show them a tattoo saying "animal liberation."
Yeah.
Right?
It was really like,
Yeah.
yeah. It was the reactions were definitely
Right.
interesting.
But in no way are we doing it to make them feel uncomfortable. We're not doing. That's not. We did it because this is what we believe. This is our
I
philosophy.
think I
No,
No, we
but
were really excited
that
about
is
your
our philosophy, and we want that to
yeah.
to be on. I wanted it to be on my arm, forevermore. Um, and of course, it's there. It was summertime, so I have to show it. Well, look what
Right.
look what I did. Look at the tattoo, and yeah. So
I think it was definitely an eye opener, and it definitely served its purpose, I guess, in that way to remind. And we did it for ourselves, right? Because we wanted to be like wear that.
Mhm.
I have 3 tattoos, and they're all one says vegan, one says for the animals, and one says animal
Right.
liberation. So,
Yeah.
and you can't see the other two, only in the summer, I guess. But
Yeah, even my daughter, and my daughter has been always been very supportive of what we do and our lifestyle. She's open to eating all kinds of vegan food.
oh yeah, she loves
Um,
everything.
but yeah, it was the same reaction from her. It was like, oh my goodness, oh, that's.
Yeah,
But she doesn't know what to say. I mean,
yeah.
what are we? We're
I can't
telling.
believe Pat got a
Animal
tattoo,
liberation
right?
is saying that we're trying to
Yeah.
stop you from living this the way you are, right? I mean, that's what
And
animal liberation is.
yeah, and I think that's a really,
Mm.
strong wording for those people
Right.
because that really does hit home. And I
It
was
does.
worried about that. I think when we got our tattoos, we're kind of veering off the subject
Mm.
here, but it's okay. It's all the same subject. But we wanted animal liberation. That was what we decided on. But I also was like, are people going to understand what that means? And I really think they do more than I thought
Mm.
because I was like, maybe they're not going to know what animal, but
Yeah.
they get
Been
it.
around.
They get it. It's been around long enough. Yeah. Well, it's a title of Peter Singer's book, isn't it?
It is.
Now we're going to share with you some voices from some other vegan animal activists. I asked a few people to let us know what they do on Thanksgiving Day, how they celebrate, and how they make it through the day.
Hi, this is Suzanne Gonzalez, and I've been vegan for over a decade. Living vegan each and every day is a powerful and impactful way to live my compassion and empathy for all animals. My vegan family and I celebrate Thanksgiving by choosing to serve a 100% vegan feast. We honor the spirit of the holiday by extending kindness and gratitude towards all animals. Traditional Thanksgiving meals can easily be made vegan. We serve mashed potatoes, candied sweet potatoes, roasted vegetables, bread stuffing, and a lentil or seitan loaf with gravy, and of course, pumpkin and fruit pies. We know that delicious festive foods can be free of all animal exploitation, cruelty, and suffering. It's also a chance to bring non vegan family and friends together around a meal that reflects our values of empathy and mindful living. So celebrate each and every day by choosing vegan and give thanks for all living beings who share this earth with us. Happy Thanksgiving from the Gonzalez family.
Hello, my name is Bailey Chapman. I have been vegan for 6 years, and I celebrate Thanksgiving in a pretty traditional way. I will spend the majority of my day cooking all vegan meals for myself, and then in the evening, we'll join my family for a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. My favorite things to have at the table are the Gardein turkey roast, green bean casserole, roasted Brussels and potatoes, wild rice, and stuffing. And that's how I celebrate my Thanksgiving: vegan, animal friendly, and surrounded by family.
My name is Kate, and I've been vegan for over 15 years. As an ethical vegan, it's sometimes challenging to find ways to celebrate Thanksgiving. But thankfully, I have a wonderful vegan boyfriend who is also an incredible cook. I took the Liberation Pledge several years ago, and so dinner is just the two of us. We have the traditional meal, and this is the first year we're having a roast from a local vegan butcher. And we always order a pumpkin pie from a local vegan baker. I also always incorporate activism into this holiday. And this year, my friends and I are doing a vegan roast giveaway at the Buffalo Turkey Trot. Another tradition is sponsoring a turkey at Farm Sanctuary. And for the days leading up to Thanksgiving, I collect pumpkins for my neighbors and donate them to a sanctuary. I also put signs on my front lawn with messages like Happy Thanksgiving and Celebrate with Compassion. And I also place vegan informational leaflets in supermarkets, all with the hope of educating and inspiring others to make kinder choices. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
This is Matthew and Nina King. We've been vegan since late 2016, about 9 years.
We spend Thanksgiving together with my brother, Sam. We usually make Gardein or field roasts with various forms of potatoes as sides, like mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, sweet potatoes. Can never have enough potatoes. Then we usually have green beans or broccoli and corn pudding.
A new tradition we started on Thanksgiving was giving our dogs, Ripley and Zira, a puppy plate, which usually consists of what we're eating for Thanksgiving, providing it is safe for the dogs, and we give them a little plate of their own. Happy Thanksgiving from Matthew and Nina King.
Hello, my name is Angie. I'm Nicole's daughter. I'm 25 years old, and I've been vegan since I was 9. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite times of the year. I love making new traditions and being with my family. One of my favorite vegan Thanksgiving foods is a vegan roast. It's a great substitute for turkey. They are delicious and easy to prepare. I also love mashed potatoes. They're very easy to make vegan. Every turkey deserves a chance at life instead of being dinner.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jody Whitaker, and I want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. I say Thanksgiving because this sad day is all about suffering and death, but it should be about giving thanks, being kind, and living by the golden rule, treating others as we want to be treated. I have never liked this holiday, but what I do love is spending it with my family and those I care about. During our vegan meal, we go around the table and say what we are thankful for, and sometimes my niece Emma comes up with a fun game that we all play. Unfortunately, I always eat too much since we make a bunch of appetizers like homemade salsa, guacamole, and my specialty, vegan buffalo chicken dip. And then we snack all day, so when the meal is ready, I'm usually too full to eat too much. Haha. Although I do enjoy our veganized green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, and tofurkey, the original. It's so good, but there are plenty of other plant-based turkeys that make it so easy to not take part in the extreme violence against these wonderful animals. I hope you will please consider all animals this holiday season and beyond. And remember, it's never too late to re-examine what we were taught when we were young, choose vegan, and stop supporting the tearing apart of families, intense confinement, brutal treatment, and the horrific slaughter of billions of sentient beings. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bryce, and my wife, Christina, and I have been asked to speak about our vegan Thanksgiving traditions. And for the moment, I have to say we're in a transition phase. I've been vegan since 2019, and my wife has been vegan since 2023. This year, we will be at an omnivore's friend's home for Thanksgiving. And we've done this a couple of times where we've seen them offer more and more vegan options that we can all partake in during the holidays. This year, though, there'll still be exploited animals on the table, but she is remaking a wonderful vegan beef Wellington, which everyone really enjoys. So we're really looking forward to that. And we will take the small opportunities to spread veganism, especially when we're all at the table giving thanks. Maybe something like, we're grateful for the growing willingness around this table and everywhere to explore delicious plant-based options that honor both tradition and kindness. So hopefully that goes well. And other than that, my wife and I are strongly considering taking the Liberation Pledge. I think we both try to bring up veganism with our friends and families, but ultimately they aren't willing to address the exploitation they pay for. We know that taking the pledge will bring about change for all of us, and we know that you usually only get one good shot with loved ones to talk about veganism, because if it's not done right, they'll get defensive. But at this point, we're both experienced street outreach activists, and we feel we have the tools to have that conversation and bring about positive change. So maybe we'll have an update for you next year. Thanks for having us, and I hope everyone has a wonderful time around the holidays.
Oh, that
How
was
how
great.
great was that? That and fantastic. wonderful idea that you had, and I love listening to the diverse voices and the different perspectives.
Yeah.
And I have one question for you:
Yeah.
When are we going to get vegan Wellington?
Well, a lot of times it has mushrooms and,
You're doing
okay.
better with
I'm
mushrooms.
doing better, but
Yeah.
I didn't actually know about the Liberation Pledge
Yeah.
until I heard a couple people mention it here.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting, and I think that's what we're doing, like we talked about before. I think it's not participating in being in at the table.
Right.
So
that was wonderful, though.
yeah, I think that was really great. It was so great to hear different voices, and I hope it helps everyone listening to know you're not alone. I hope that you can spend a little bit of time with us today, just knowing that we're here to support you. We're here to help you keep going and to be a voice for the animals. And yeah,
Happy Thanksgiving, right?
happy Thanksgiving.